I've been in such a big reading slump for a while now. And I don't know, at some point I just accepted it. I was just like, well, guess this is it for me now. But I really want to get back into it now, especially because December is coming up and I just want to be like all cozy when it's cold with a book, you know? So we have to change that. I'm actually just eating breakfast now, so I'm gonna go back to that. But I'm also gonna talk about the books that I've been considering. I actually don't even remember what the last book was that I read before I got into the slump, so... Okay, it was Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, so that actually makes sense because I think it's a really good book. And I feel like I already was in a reading slump before I started this book, but then when I read this book, I was like, wow, this is everything. And it was so good. But then I didn't know what to read after that would be just as good. So I think that was what just kept my reading slump going, I guess. Usually I like to read fantasy books. I really like high fantasy as well. But since I've been in this reading slump for so long, I think getting thrown into like a gigantic world with a lot of world building and rules to understand might not be what I need right now. So I was thinking of more like something that's fantasy, but more on that, like the cozier or a little bit less world building, like more of a lighter read, maybe not a book that has like 800 pages, because then I just don't think I'm gonna finish it. Okay, so what I have heard a lot about is Legends and Lattes. It's actually crazy that I haven't read it yet because everyone has read it. And I heard that it's just like a sweet, cozy fantasy, so maybe that could be a vibe that I'm going for. What is it about? Let me read the Goodreads summary. We're gonna make a dramatic reading. After a lifetime of bounties and bloodshed... Wait, I need to... This sounds dramatic. Okay, I thought it would be like... Okay. After a lifetime of bounties and bloodshed, Viv is hanging up her sword for the last time. The battle-weary orc, oh, yeah, makes sense on the picture. The battle-weary orc aims to start fresh, opening the first ever coffee shop in the city of Thune, I don't know. But old and new rivals stand in the way of success. Not to mention the fact that no one has the faintest idea what coffee actually is. Oh my goodness. Why do they know though? Like, okay, anyways. If Viv wants to put the blade behind her and make her plans a reality, she won't be able to do it alone. But the true reward of the uncharted path are the travelers you meet along the way. And whether drawn together by ancient magic, flaky pastry, or a freshly brewed cup, they may become partners, family, and something deeper than she ever could have dreamed. Okay, I kind of like it, and it says here that it's 296 pages, so that's not that much as well. So that could be an option. Let's see. Oh, I also haven't read the second book of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't know what the second one is called. I do also want to read that, but I heard that it's more of like a spring book, so I kind of want to wait till next year. And I also want to wait because that's when the last book comes out. So I'm not gonna go for that one. What else is here? Ooh, I also heard this one is really good and it's even shorter, so maybe I should start with it. And it's called A Psalm for the Wild Bills. Let's read what it's about. Centuries before, robots of Panga, I guess that's the name of the city, gained self-awareness, laid down their tools, wandered into the wilderness, never to be seen again. They faded into myth and urban legend. Now, the life of the tea monk who tells this story is upended by the arrival of a robot, there to honor the old promise of checking in. The robot cannot go back until the question of what do people need is answered. But the answer to that question depends on who you ask and how. They will need to ask it a lot Chamber Series asks, in a world where people have what they want, does having more matter? I don't know, I heard that it's also really good, so I'm thinking between both. Maybe I'll just start one and see how it goes, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna read the other one. So yeah, those are my plans. I'm really excited. I really hope it gets me out of a reading slump, because usually for me, I always read. Like, it's so weird for me right now that I'm not reading, because I just always read. It's like, even if I don't read, because I do get reading sometimes, but then I usually get an audiobook that I can just listen to, so I don't have to concentrate on reading. But lately it's been so weird, because I just haven't been able to concentrate, not on books, but also not even on audiobooks. Like, I can't even focus while listening, so I don't know. But I feel like it's gotten better again right now, so I'm just gonna hope that one of these books is gonna get to me and it's gonna work. So I actually have to get ready for uni soon, but I think I'm gonna finish my breakfast first, and maybe, yeah, I think I'm gonna start the second book, A Psalm for the Wild Build. I think I'm gonna start that now while eating breakfast, and then I'll see how it goes. I'm gonna keep you updated. Oh my god. Why is it so dark? It's literally 5 p.m. right now. But I just really don't want to put on my overhead lighting. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm actually lighting my face with my iPad that I'm reading on. So it's kind of my lamp. So you can't even see me at all, because without it, it would be even worse. Anyways, so I just finished some uni work and just started reading the book. So far, I read like 2 pages. So far, I really enjoy it. And yeah, it's just about these robots that were made by humans, but then they kind of evolved and had feelings and emotions and decided they don't want to work for humans anymore, and they actually rather would live in the wild. And that's all I know so far. So I'm gonna keep you updated. Okay, I realize I can just put on my fairy lights and it's a little bit better. Quality is still terrible. But anyways, I'm gonna read now. Okay, 33% update from me. I actually just made dinner, and I actually found out that the audiobook of this book is on Spotify, and so I started listening to it while I was making dinner. And I gotta be honest, I'm still really struggling to focus while reading, but listening to the audiobook is actually pretty good. Because lately, even like I said before, even when I was listening to audiobooks, I couldn't concentrate, and I realized after a while that I wasn't even listening, and then I stopped again. So that's why I haven't consumed any book in any type of way for a while. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. The story is kind of slower paced, like not that much has happened yet, but I'm more of like a no plot, just vibes person anyway, so this is actually perfect for me. And so far we have met a tea monk who's called Dex, I think, yeah. And that's the main character. And they're just on a journey like all over the world, planet that they live at on. I don't know. But there's actually the place called the Wilds, I think. And people don't go there usually. But the monk was like, kind of, something is pulling me towards it. I really want to go there. And I think there's also some kind of like castle, not like maybe a church, like something that was used by monks before, like in olden times. They really want to go there. And now they have encountered a robot. And actually, I already forgot this, even though I read the summary this morning, and I'm pretty sure it said it there, but I'm not 100% I'm pretty sure it said it there, but in this world they don't know that those robots actually exist. Like, it was more of a myth that humans built robots before, and then they became too like real and wanted to be themselves and went into the woods. Like, that's more of like a myth. It's not an actual like historical fact for them. And so when the monk meets the robot, they're like, excuse me, who are you? What are you doing here? But yeah, I just got to the part where they met, so I don't have anything more to say. But yeah, I actually don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure I could finish this book today, but I still have to go to the library in half an hour, I think, to work on a assignment with my classmates. And I mean, we're meeting there at 7:30, so I don't know how long it's gonna take, but if we stay there until like 10:30, then I don't know if I just maybe want to eat something and then go to sleep soon. So I might not be able to finish the book today, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish it tomorrow, because even when I can, like, I could even listen to the audiobook while I'm walking to the library, so it won't probably take me that long to get through the book. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm very thankful that I finally have a book that I enjoy again. So I came home from the library yesterday around like 11 p.m. So I just did some work afterwards and then went to sleep. I didn't really have time to read anymore, but I did listen to the audiobook a little bit when I got ready to go to sleep. So I'm about 70% through the book now, so I wanted to give another update. And I gotta be honest, not that much has happened story-wise. I mean, there is a story for sure, but you can really tell that it's more about the conversations between the monk and the robot, and just them both talking about humanity and just like how humans work and how their emotions work, how they think, because we have a robot and then we have a monk, and it's a really interesting dynamic actually, because they both don't fully understand each other, but they're really trying to, and it's just so interesting. So far I'm really enjoying the book, but I wouldn't say it's really not plot focused. It's really mostly about those two people just having the most interesting conversations about life and about human beings and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting so far. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish it today. And then I'm gonna maybe start Legends and Lattes, but I'm not sure, because I kind of feel like that might be, I don't know, because this one is like so, I wouldn't say profound, but they do talk about very dramatic things. So I don't know if I'm ready for like a more light-hearted, casual fantasy after that, but I don't know. We'll see, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Okay, it's the next day, because last night I had to watch Dancing with the Stars. So I couldn't finish it, even though I only had like 5, maybe 10% left, so really not a lot. So I just finished the book this morning, and I gotta say I really liked it. I'm so happy. This was such a good choice to get out of a reading slump, honestly. I genuinely couldn't have chosen a better book, I think, because it was so nice. It wasn't really long, so I could finish it pretty easy. Like, it took me actually pretty long for how fast I read normally, and especially because I also listen to the audiobook. Usually I would have gotten through that in a day easy, but since I had so much uni work and so many things to do this week, I don't know, this was not really the best week to choose to get out of a reading slump, because I really don't have the time to read right now actually. But I'm so happy, because the book was really good. It was really beautiful, and honestly, it was just so wholesome. I don't know how you can even describe it. I would say it felt like, if you know the island from Castle in the Sky, it felt like being on this island with Uncle Iroh from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and you're just getting like all his wisdom, and it was honestly so beautiful. So I actually haven't fully decided what book I'm gonna read next, but I think Legends and Lattes would maybe be nice, because I know that this book actually does have a sequel, but I kind of want to go into another world right now before I get back into this one. But yeah, this was so beautiful. I really like this book. And yeah, I'm excited for the next one. I have a few errands to do right now. Like I said, I really have so much to do this week. So I don't really know when I'm gonna start the book, but I'm gonna keep you updated. Okay, it's been a few days and I actually have started Legends and Lattes, and so far I'm really liking it. So the story is about this orc that has been, I don't even know, an assassin or something like that. So their work was pretty brutal, but they now want to retire, I guess, and decided to open a coffee shop because for some reason the people there don't know what coffee is, and they just don't really know if a lot of the human drinks or foods. And yeah, so we're just following her with opening the coffee shop and just learning what you need to do that. Like, I don't know, it's been actually not that much has happened, but for some reason it's actually quite cute and just the vibes are very nice. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say so far. Hello, welcome back. It's been a minute for me because I actually started filming this video over a week ago, I think. And I have to be honest, I DNF'd Legends and Lattes. I mean, maybe, let's just say I might finish it because I also found the audiobook on YouTube. So maybe I'm just gonna keep listening to it when I'm in bed trying to fall asleep or something. But other than that, I feel like I would just be forcing myself to get through this book. So let's talk about it. I gotta be honest, and maybe I should have clarified that before, I don't drink coffee. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I found this book so boring. I'm so sorry to anyone who loved this book, but I don't know. I was just bored most of the time. And I know it's supposed to be a cozy fantasy, so of course it's not gonna be all crazy and dramatic, but I still think even though it's supposed to be cozy, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have any interesting plot and also some character development, because I feel like those characters were just staying the same the whole time. And I don't know how far I'm through, probably at least 50%, maybe even 60%. So I have been forcing myself to get through this book so much, but at some point I just decided I can't. This video was supposed to be about me getting out of a reading slump, and if I'm forcing myself to read a book, that's not getting out of a reading slump. That's probably just getting into one again because I'm trying to force myself, and then at some point I'm just gonna be annoyed and I'm not gonna keep going. And you know what I mean? So yeah, I decided to not keep going for now. I have, however, started and finished another book, and it's called Heartless Hunter, and it was about a girl who's a witch and then a guy who's a witch hunter, and I would say it was very much romantasy, which I actually didn't expect. I thought it would just be a very high fantasy book, so it kind of surprised me. And at the beginning I didn't like that, but once I just realized, okay, this is just like a romantasy, I actually kind of started to like it a lot more. So I actually started and finished that book in one day. And then I have also started, and I don't think you can call it a book, but I have to work on Sandman for a uni course. And so I have started listening to the audiobook on Audible and also reading the comics like side by side, I guess, and watching the TV show, obviously. So I don't know how I'm gonna count that, but I'm definitely reading. So oh, and then I also started This Is How You Lose the Time War, and this book has been so much fun for me. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm mostly reading that because, like I said, Sandman is more of a comic, so it's not really a focus. And there's also like 20 of them. So I'm just reading them like once in a while when I feel like it. But the book I'm actually reading right now is This Is How You Lose the Time War. And it's about a time war. And there's two main characters that are on opposite sides of the time war. And time war just literally meaning they go through time to either prevent something from happening or make something happen so that this turns out to later on help them in their war. So yeah, there are these two main characters and they just kind of are on opposite enemy sides, and they start to write each other letters throughout the times, and they get very creative with it, and these letters become a little bit more interesting as time goes on. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's such a good book. But yeah, I had to mention I could not finish Legends and Lattes. I'm so sorry. But I definitely think I'm out of my reading slump. So I hope this might also motivate you to read again, because I know that I hate being in reading slumps because I love reading, so it just annoys me when I can't really get into it for some reason. So yeah, thanks for being here on this journey with me. I really think that A Psalm for the Wild Build was the perfect book to start with to get me out of a reading slump, because this book was so beautiful. It was also, in my opinion, more of like a cozy fantasy, but it still had an interesting plot, in my opinion, and interesting characters. So I was just kind of sad that Legends and Lattes couldn't do that for me, but yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. Thanks for being here, and I really hope for you that you're not in a reading slump right now, but if you are, we're getting through this together. I promise you, it's only gonna be for a little bit of time, and you just need to understand yourself to know how to get out of it again. So for me, I try to read shorter books for sure, and then also something that's not very complicated but still interesting. So like it still has to be catchy enough for me, but it shouldn't be too much crazy world building going on, because then I know if I'm already not feeling great, then I'm not gonna keep going. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my tea. I actually maybe should put this out because it's been in here since I started making the video. So maybe the tea's gonna be very strong, but then again, the cup is very big. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye!